the volume of knowledge. We have knowledge, but when we do little bit more study, more research, we increase it. Then the concept of scientific research is also known as now research and development. Now all of you are aware that we talk research and development. This word has become a representative of scientific research. Research is incomplete without development, and development is incomplete without the research. Scientific research produces sciences, and then which is incorporated into the technological products. Like in the previous slide, I showed that science is also dependent on the technology, and technology itself is related to the society. So scientific research multiplies itself, multiplies in the form of knowledge, in the form of skill development, in the form of promotion of education, and of course when everyone is educated, it leads to the social superiority. Now, how we can create scientific knowledge? Scientific research needs researchers. Anybody cannot do, but there are professionals which are trained in various scientific fields. We need equipments, infrastructure, resources, finance. All these things are needed to make the scientific knowledge grow in the form of scientific research. So how we can create and apply? Ensuring availability of an organizational framework means your organization should have sufficient arrangement for collecting the different scientific information. At the same time, there should be the laboratories, research institutes, and academic institutes which totally form the scientific knowledge. But again, there are global challenges which although I have discussed in previous, like there is a globalization of economic life changing, deepening of international division of labor, international relations. These are also global changes, how one country has good relation and likewise they join the hands, limited resources availability in different parts of the globe, and again attempt to establish the sustainable environment. These are some global changes of research field. Then how we can increase our competency and efficiency? All of know about the different points, but of course I have compiled at one point, like achieving the results that are of interest to the beneficiaries, or the beneficiaries is who? Society. So we should not do anything haphazardly, but it should be of the interest of the society. Then correlating the research topics from the budget within the sector, medium and long term strategy. We have to correlate our research topic with the budget we are getting from the different funding agencies. Then promoting partnership with researchers and beneficiaries. We should involve the society, we should involve the other institutes so that we can enrich ourselves. Supporting the implementations of results, how we can implement the results, how we can support. There comes the role of industries. They can support in implementing the results or the research which we do in our labs. Then developing human resources. We need human power, we need human skill. So we need to train human resources which can help us to generate and use R&D for the society. Then of course without infrastructure you cannot anything. Everything requires fund and infrastructure. So we should have a strong infrastructure and strong financial background. Developing innovations. In most of us are aware of the jugaad system. Sometimes the definite science does not work, but the jugaad works. So try to innovate as much as you can from your existing infrastructure. This jugaad also give us very good results. Even the school kids, college students, they come with beautiful technologies with the jugaad, with the available resources. For example, I was watching the very backward area. Their kids, they collected the waste drums, plates, etc., and they formed the band from it. Then establishing the risk funds. You should have a risk fund available, that if you are losing something, then there must be some support. Then you promote yourself, like through this occasion we can promote ourselves, what strength we have. Everyone wants to market, and you exist only when your marketing exists, otherwise no one knows you. So try to market yourself, try to market your resources. Even I suggest the students, you market yourself, you develop interest and then market yourself that you want to do this. You write scientific newsletters, you write scientific articles to tell what you are doing in your institute, what you can do in your institute. Then flexible management system should be there. Nobody, single person should be the behold of this fund available. There should be the flexible management system. Then we should support mobility of the researchers, like in Hans Raj Mahila Vidyalaya. This is the Vidyalaya, and nowadays all of you are aware of the DST, Department of Science and Technology. They have recently announced a scheme TARE, that is for the teachers. The teachers who want to do research, they can get associated with some research institute. So your institute, or I'm just saying example, any student should support the mobility of researchers. Teachers, many teachers are so good in their research aptitude, but they did not get the opportunity, or somehow they got into the teaching, but they have that hidden curiosity that yes, if I would have been given some research opportunities, I would have definitely done this. So to support such ideas, DST has recently announced this fellowship, and you can go through it and see if you can. In fact, in Jalandhar, you have academic institutes where research is done. So you can orient yourself towards. So mobility of researchers bring innovation, innovative ideas in your institute, because they get experience from the other institute. Then improved access of companies, that private companies should have access to the institutional facilities, because to support, there are many new startups nowadays. This startup word is very popular. What are you ask anyone who is not doing job, or who has started some small business, they say that we have a startup. But those startup, they don't have money, they don't have infrastructure. So to support them, it is the duty of our institutions, our like CSIR or any other institute, to support them, to welcome them, so that they can use their facility and take their startup to the next level. So it's type of a hand holding to the companies. As I told, you cannot grow unless you have community involvement in the research. So you do outreach. You of course, this was the good opportunity where I could have done outreach, but at the last moment I got some official assignments. Otherwise, this outreach would have been a part of my research. We get chance to interact with the people, we get chance to interact with the expertise, we get chance to discuss what society is looking for. I don't know what problems a college might be feeling, but once we meet, we discuss the things, we can come out with the ways how we can improve each other's deficiencies. Then you consult experts. What should I do, where should I go, how should I do this communication, how do I share information? So these are the different protocols. You involve the society as much as you can, and industries also form a part of your community. So you involve industries to work with you. Collaborate. Academic institute alone cannot do the research and development. So academic institutes can collaborate with the research institutes. Research institutes can collaborate with the academic to have a hand holding and to have a maximum use of infrastructures. And you have a shared leadership for all the outcome. Like I said previously, so this is the general framework how we can involve the public participation. Here public means academics. For example, I am a research organization, so how I can involve academics, how I can involve different small centers, industries, society. So we look for the scientific interest. Of course, sometimes there are self interest, sometimes this interest comes from the public also. Then we identify the question, or we identify the research question, that what we want. Then we develop project, we look for the infrastructure, or we try to establish the infrastructure, we do the project and try to implement. While doing this project, we get some observations and experiences while doing these projects. Those experiences we spread, or we share in the form of science research publications. Social ecological systems, what are the legislation process for sharing your thoughts or your ideas. Then we get individual skills also, where we increase our knowledge and we establish our identity. So through research, you can have institutional profits, you can have individual profits also. So we should involve as much as others to be part of your research. We should not restrict the knowledge to ourselves, because it will improve the quality when the different thought process comes from different sectors. Then what can be the different roles? Like I told, they can be contract, they can contribute, actual contribute, they can collaborate, they can co-create, they can be the colleagues. Like we can, they, in the form of contract, this public can ask scientists to conduct some investigations and report the results. Or sometimes society is asked by the scientists to collect and contribute data. For example, I have to do some academic service, so in that case better than me are the academic institutes, so I can ask any academic institute to have a survey related to the academics for me, and it will create a data for my research. Similarly, collaboration, we assist each other in collecting and analyzing the data, and we reach to the common research goal. Then we develop a study or work from the inputs which we gain from our studies. Then colleagues, of course, everyone in this scientific community, we are colleagues, so either we can do independent research and then take it the next step, or vice versa. So this is the general process. As I mentioned, we observe from the nature or society, we pose question, then we make hypothesis. Okay, this problem can be solved like this. Then we plan for investigation, how we can prove our hypothesis. Then we assemble data. We see how whether the data collected is important or not. We analyze the data. Then we document it. We conclude it whether this result is good enough to have your conclusion. Then we relate with the present findings, and from those conclusions we again come with the new questions. Okay, we have developed up to the institute, now where this research will go. So again we pose the new question. So likewise, this is a cycle process. We learn, do, execute, and give output. So if we talk about research type, there can be three types of researches: fundamental research, which can be a theoretical or experimental. We can create new openings for scientific knowledge through fundamental scientific research. From fundamental scientific research, we can come up with the new materials, new applications, or new technologies. Like nowadays, you must have had nanotechnology. You go in the to buy a TV, you will see the different displays having different resolutions and very attractive to see. And that attendant will tell you this has the nano LED, this has a nano this. So and nanotechnology is everywhere nowadays. This is a very attractive technology. I think there is a back sound. Just give me a second. I'm closing the door. Sorry, we have construction going on, so there was a disturbance. Then we have applied scientific research. Basic science to kar liya, lekin what next? Then applied scientific research aims at specific practical objective. मतलब हमें, we know what will be the application of this. We apply our scientific research, use results of this previous fundamental research gained through the experimentations, and then we try to take it to the pilot plants or the industrial level. And research and development, again, we use this knowledge gained from applied science and the basic science, and we come out with some prototypes, products. Then how you can promote scientific advancement. Now, it was a symposium in 2021, and very high level experts were there, and they concluded that there should be a scale up in the investment in science and technology. Then we should have sustainable agriculture, which is the prime heart of our country. Then basic scientific research you never can ignore. There is always a place for basic scientific research. Then use technology for healthcare. All of us have experienced this 2 years pandemic. So here we can understand how important the technology is in the healthcare. Oxygen concentrators were lacking. So this research started that how we can make the low cost oxygen concentrators. Like I said previously, the problem comes from the society. Society made us to think that yes, there is a lack of oxygen concentrators. So can we come up with any product which will be low cost and can be easily available for every patient? So likewise, it came from the society. This corona, this came up with many this sanitization, sanitizers, masks. The market grow abruptly because it was the requirement from the from the society, from the environment, to have your health at the prime. Then improve STEM education in schools. You promote critical thinking in the schools, where the students form the pillar of the future. So they should have STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So I will cover just few examples how many of us are aware of these techniques. This is just an example with already existing nearby surrounding, etc. For example, energy and environment. Here we are facing the problems of global warming and CO2 emission control. So now research is into how we can control the CO2 emissions. Then how we can use efficiently the energy resources we have, or how we can replicate the energy resources. So now the energy, like e-vehicles, they have come to have a renewable energy source. Life sciences, every like medicines, vaccine generated recently, so these are the part of life sciences. Then human society, digital archiving, security, so everything like for example IT's impact, it is a huge, it is the because of IT we are, I am with you though physically not available with you. So it is the IT which has played role to connect us to the maximum level. If I would have come, I would have met only few people, but through IT we can meet global wise, we can meet nationally. So this is again IT's impact. The phones you have, laptops you have, all these are the resources developed from the IT sectors. Then capacity building, where we should concentrate on science education and communication. So many colleges, schools, education have come up. Then intellectual property rights, you must have come across very frequently. We have webinars on intellectual property rights, we have awareness programs. So now we are educating the people about what are their rights. Science and technology for human security, like infectious diseases, infrastructure, how we can fight against natural disasters. This is the natural disaster, COVID is the natural disasters. So then we should start some new techniques like recently additive manufacturing. Additive manufacturing and the nanotechnology, they have attracted the attention because of their advantages. You can build your house in 2 days using the manufacturing, ready to install. Walls are there, doors are there, you don't have to wait for months to develop a building. So this is the use of manufacturing, nanotechnology. Everywhere nanotechnology. You are watching TV advertisement. In many places you are observing this nanotechnology. So for example, there is a huge advancement in the communication. If we see 1981, this was a big device, and now you have a chip for communication purpose. So this is the advancement with the time and with the requirement. Human health, so many implants you have to control your body or to have your health statistics available through IT, wireless implantable medical devices. Every you have cochlear implants, cardiac pacemakers, insulin pumps, foot implants, etc. Everything is towards having a good health. Then MRI, many of you have heard. These are just in examples. We come across so many scientific examples which have contributed towards improvement of our life, level of comfort in our life. These pacemakers, these are with the electrical signal, it sends messages to the heart to beat. So pacemakers, nowadays we heard a lot about every second third person is getting the heart attack and so on. So pacemaker is the lifesaver for these having any heart related problems. Then BP, every one of you must have seen this BP. Earlier we used to wrap the band around in the elbow, and then we used to pump, the mercury used to go up and we used to see the level. But ban in the use of mercury has been a problem. So a new system has come, phygmometer, which is similar like this, but in that case mercury is not used. It combines the features of electronic and oscillatory devices. That mercury column is replaced by the electronic pressure gauge. Based on the pressure gauge, we are seeing that BP is high or low. Earlier, since mercury was used and mercury is not good to be disposed of in the environment, so it has been replaced. So this is the advancement in the science. Then the glucometer, most of us or most of you have seen this glucometer in your houses. Now at your home only you can measure how much glucose you have. You have test strips, you prick a drop of blood on it and you insert in the device. You don't have to go to the dispensary or healthcare center. So it is again a health monitoring system which has made the life easy. Food pasteurization, you can store food for so long, you can have ready to cook food. So these are the advancements in different fields. Now a concept is coming, aerophonics. Those who are having space crunches, it is good for aerophonics. In this case, light act as a source for plants to have a photosynthesis. Then medium is there to support the growth, and water and nutrients are mixed. So in the water only you can grow your vegetables. Now we will come how CSIO is contributing towards society upliftment. We will have what we can give to the society or what is available where industries can come and take. So in agro sectors, we have different things for pre-harvest, post-harvest, quality, ranging from different tools or techniques. For example, pesticide detection kits. Everyone, at least in Punjab, is very well known for these pesticide issues. In fact, not a Punjab, almost every part of the country, people or the farmer are using pesticides. But everything in excess is bad for our health. So this is a detection kit where you have to put your sample, crush it, take the solution, and just dip in a bottle. It consists some chemicals and it will generate some color, yes or no. It will tell you yes or no. So it's so easy. Farmer don't have to go to the laboratory to pay 1,000 or 2,000 for testing the samples. They can have these kits at their own place also. Then you will say, why farmer will have? Of course, right, why farmer himself is adding pesticide, but in uncontrolled manner. So if we can educate them, yes, you can use pesticides to improve the yield, to improve your economical status. But at the same time, it should be added in some minimum quantity which is acceptable. So there they can measure. We face a lot problem in export because our food commodities get rejected due to presence of high concentration of pesticides. So this kit can be used at the export sites where you can find out whether this pesticide is really high in concentration or not. Then water quality sensing system. Again, this is the small system. We can use this for nitrate, fluoride, arsenic sensing. This is a portable device. You only 1 or 2 ml water is required. You put in the device and some reading will come. It will tell whether this water has fluoride, nitrate or arsenic in water. All these heavy metals, they deteriorate your health. Then agri waste based filter, which we have prepared for laundry water. For example, in villages they don't have sufficient water, they rely on the hand pumps or they rely on the limited source of water. In that case, this idea is, can we use your water, laundry water, for some non potable this thing purposes? For example, flushing, mopping, washing your vehicles. So can we use it? So for that purpose we have developed some cartridges where you can reuse your water for different non potable options. And now I hope, of course I'm not able to see, I hope all of you are wearing the mask, because in public gathering these are the instructions that we should wear masks. But most of us get girls or boys, whosoever we are very much conscious about our looking smart, looking good, etc. So this is a clear face mask. This is the clear, you can breathe in. This is a transparent, waterproof, fogging is also not there, so it can replace this clothes and fiber masks. So it is a transparent mask. It will not hide your aesthetics also. So potential users in the security, where some institutes are dependent, they capture your photos, but with the that cloth mask, the entire picture cannot come. So it can help in the security sector, where you can have this transparent mask on it. For healthcare workers who are regularly in touch with the potential patients, so these can be teachers, fashion industry of this adds a fashion to your accessories also. So everywhere you can use this mask. Then pH, this is a detector which tells about quality of oil. More we burn for frying, more this oil gets deteriorated. So this polyaromatic hydrocarbons, these are again, they pose some health issues. So this is the device which can tell you how much hydrocarbons pH are in your oil, and whether now this oil is not to be used. So this tells us the information. Electrostatic pesticide sprayer. Now you will say, ma'am, pehle you were showing that pesticide detection kit. Now you are saying that pesticide sprayer is there. So advantage of this sprayer is it creates a uniform and controlled spray of pesticides. Conventional technique gives only surface coverage, but in that case it you can under the leaves also it gets sprayed. But of course here also we suggest that the pesticide should be sprayed in a quantifiable in acceptable limits. Then dust mitigation, especially in Delhi like metro like cities, where you have so much dust in the sky. So sometimes the visibility becomes the problem. So again, this is electrostatic dust mitigation, where it helps to bring the dust down. Then the similar technology have proved a boon for this COVID system. This is electrostatic disinfection machine. This is a very small machine. You can take, in fact, in your institute or in our institute also, we are regularly using this mobile electrostatic disinfection machine. You can take it and disinfect your areas. So this is another technology which we have, and this disinfection can be used in fruits, healthcare, public transport, trains, aeroplanes, every public gathering places. This instrument can be used to disinfect the area. Rice grain analysis, sometimes chote bade, because in export usually we face problems. So this is the rice grain analyzer. Through the software only it will tell you the quality of the rice. The good rice will be separated, identified, and the bad rice or the broken pieces will be indicated, so you can remove them. Then digital grain moisture, this is good for farmers where their price of their commodities is highly dependent on the moisture this content. So this is again portable device. This you just put your this thing, food items like cereals, wheat, rice, etc., and it will tell you how much moisture content is there. So again, moisture content should also not be very high, otherwise this food deterioration will take place, fungus will grow in it. This is soil pH sensor, because our the fertility of any soil depends upon the pH of soil. So for most of the plants, this pH is from 5.5 to 7, and it's a portable device. Just you dig on the ground, and it will tell you the pH and whether it is suitable for your commodity or not. So it is a very portable small device. Then Honey Live for quality honey. Here you don't have to have human intervention, and it is designed to harvest and extract honey without disturbing the frames. Customized channels are there at the bottom of the frame when they collect directly the honey. Lyophilizer, for example, if you want to store this thing, apple, you cut it into small pieces and you can store it for long. In that this is for the domestic industries where freeze drying is done. So it is a portable system for use for freeze drying the system. It preserves fruits and vegetables for a long time. You can just cut, put into this, so that item will get lyophilized. Their entire nutritional value remains same, and you can keep the packings. Moisture, again, this is a moisture meter for tea. Again, this tea quality depends upon the moisture, how much quantity of moisture is there. So quality is dependent on it. So this is again handled moisture motor for tea quality estimation. Then recycling, as I mentioned, that we are just continuously adding waste into the environment. So we are working in one direction where we can use waste into recovery of some useful plants. Here we are taking this e-waste and then extracting copper, aluminium, carbon, etc. So this is towards waste to wealth. This is very interesting portable reading machine for visually challenged. So those who are not able to see, they can read the newspapers, books, etc. This is a sort of scanner which scans your content and then convert it into in Indian English voice, and we are working on developing 10 other languages for it. This is a touch-based finger gesture control, and it is good for mobility of elderly or paralytic patients. They can drive this using their touch or finger gestures. Those whose limbs are not properly working, this chair can help in their movement. Then again, this is earlier was based on the finger movement, and this is based on the head gesture. Suppose if your limbs are also not working, only your head is working, so with the head gesture you can move with the help of this chair to in which direction you want to go. I told about that pacemaker, which is a device which gives electric signal to your heart to pump. So this is a device like a glucometer measures glucose. This is a device which measures troponin I. It's a chemical, it's a biochemical whose concentration rises in case if you have any heart problem. So this is also like a glucometer, small digital device where you have to prick your finger, take the drop of blood and you put on this, and some value will come. That value will tell whether this troponin I is high in concentration or not. If it is high, immediate or what type of treatment is required. It can help the clinicians to decide whether it is an emergency case or it is for the normal treatment. Then, as I told earlier, was this electronic device, and these are the colorimetric devices for arsenic. And this is the reader which which can read the paper strips which are generating some color in presence of these heavy metals, and this device can read that color. Then coming to the third section, career opportunities for science students. So we have different types of academic degrees available from in the form of R&D, business development, laboratory research career, teaching, medical, quality control, grant administrator, patent office. So these are some of the areas where we can now get our academic degrees which help in the science. This is the science structure in India, where we have central government scientific and science and technology departments or councils. We have universities, independent R&D institutes, autonomous organizations like CSIR. Industries have in-house R&D divisions in them. So there are also opportunities for the job. Other S&T councils, state government, state councils, departmental councils. So there are different opportunities or science structures in India. These are some funding bodies which help you to get fund in different forms for the permanent as well as for the non-permanent. For example, Inspire. Inspire is a type of a fellowship given to the students, faculties. SERB is a funding agency which gives support for travel, for development, for research. Then autonomous institutes, they give the research fund. DST, DBT, ICMR, there are many scientific institutes which are funding the research. Like I told, Inspire, it is very good fellowship, about 80,000 annually, who wants to pursue bachelor's as well as master's in natural science or basic science. Generally, this is open in September, October, but for past 2 years, this this duration is on and off. This is for the candidates who form 1% of students in their class 12 board exams and are studying BSc or integrated MSc. It is given to the JEE or NEET students who are among top 10,000 rankers and opt for basic sciences and have studied at any of the colleges and opted to study natural at BSc or are eligible for SHE scholarship. SHE scholarship is also for the girl students. Kishore Vigyanik Protsahan Yojana, it is also 5,000 per month or 20,000 annual contingency is given to the UGC level candidates. Postgraduate students, they are given 7,000 per month or 28,000 annual contingency grant. July and August is the time when the students can apply. Then after 12 or the first year students in BSc, MSc, STEM disciplines, those students who are studying BSc, BSc Maths, Tax, etc., they can get this fellowship. Then postgraduate merit scholarship for university rank holders. Again, UGC gives this May to August. Then for women, there is a scheme from DST, Department of Science and Technology, to encourage human scientists and technologists. Here also maximum grant 30 lakhs for research you can get, and the candidate should be MSc or equivalent or pursuing PhD. So this is also again every year this is announced and it is open throughout the year. Then mathematics training talent search program. This is for those who are interested in having mathematics as their career. The program is free of cost and their students are offered travel allowances, cash prizes for those who have studied math at the UG or PG level. October or December, these are the months when this is announced. Dr. K.S. Krishnan Research Associateship is another opportunities which you can avail for BARC, Bhabha Atomic Research Center, Mumbai, Indira Gandhi Center for Atomic Research, Kalpakam, Raja Ramanna Center, Indore, Variable Energy Cyclotron, Kolkata, Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, Mumbai. So scholarship is 26,000 per month as stipend and it is for 2 years. Students should be masters or PhD. There is a upper limit, 32 years. November to February is the date when this is announced. Most of you are aware of this junior research fellowships, which CSIR and UGC both gives. So this is for BSc last year or MSc students. National level exam is there. For JRF, 31,000 per month is given, and in addition to that, 20,000 per fellowship is also given to meet the daily expenses, routine expenses. Sorry. Then these are some awards. Vigyan Jyoti, where interactive program, it takes place with the scientists and young rural girls to pursue career in science, technology, engineering, and math. Young scientist program Yuvika, this is for ISRO, those who want to have information or knowledge or award on space technology. Udan, this is a CBSE program. Pragati, this is the AICTE program for the girls. These are some of the opportunities for female scientists or women researchers, girl researchers, where you get support. For example, DST Women Scientist Scheme, as one scheme I told you. Similarly, A, B, C, there are the 3 categories. SERB Women Excellence Award, DBT India BioCare Program for Women Scientists. Then WISTEM, this is Indo-US Fellowship. This is especially for the girls. These awards are especially for the young girls. IEEE Women in Engineering, Laurel Fellowship. So you must see all these websites to look for the probable opportunity. Just I told DST has 3 schemes, W Women Scientist, A, B, C, they are different. For A, research in basic and applied science. B, S&T interventions for societal benefit. And third is internship in intellectual property rights. All these 3 terms I referred in my previous slides. So there is a place for basic science. You cannot ignore basic science. Then the science should convert into technology, which is good for the society. Then intellectual property rights, you should know what are your intellectual property rights regarding any product. These are again some awards for Women Fellowship, Curie, Mobility Schemes, ISRO, IC, Stree Shakti, Science Samman, etc. So that's all for this, and that science and technology is pivot to any nation's development. You cannot ignore science and technology while you are thinking of development. That's all from your side. If anyone has question, please.
The house is open for questions.
No, everything was so clear.
Actually, ma'am, you explained in very simple way with the daily life examples. That's why I think students have no queries. Anyways, ma'am, thank you so much for such a wonderful talk. And ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੰਨੇ ਸੋਹਣੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਇਸ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਸਾਇੰਸ ਤੇ ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਦੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਨੂੰ ਐਕਸਪਲੇਨ ਕੀਤਾ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਵੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਕੁਐਰੀ ਰਹਿ ਗਈ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਲੱਗੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਇੰਸ ਨੂੰ ਸੁਸਾਇਟੀ ਲਈ ਦੇ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਲਈ ਅਪਲਾਈ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ. You inspire the student for innovations also, and to do marketing with the little startups, to start the little startups so they can earn themselves, and to do research in various aspects. And you also told about the various opportunities and various fellowships available for the science students in the for doing science and to do research in various areas of sciences. And thank you so much for this enlightened talk, ma'am. ਹੁਣ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਦੁਆਰਾ ਇਹ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਗਿਆ ਗਿਆਨ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਸੋਚ ਪਰਿਵਰਤਨ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਿਸ਼ਚਿਤ ਰੂਪ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਆਏਗਾ, ਮੈਮ. ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ, ਮੈਮ.
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਪੂਰਨਿਮਾ ਜੀ, ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ. So session is over.
Yes, ma'am. Actually, I have to announce the prizes of today's session. Okay. There are two competitions in the morning. One is scientific attire, and other one is Rangoli competitions.
Okay.
The first position goes to in scientific attire is tag number S1, and the second position goes to tag number S4. Third position goes to S13. You can clap, guys. I'm announcing the results. I think वो students यहाँ पे present नहीं है, लेकिन आप उनको कर सकते हो backup. उन्होंने बहुत मेहनत की है इस सारे प्रोसीजर के लिए. उन्होंने बहुत सुंदर मॉडल तैयार किए थे. And consolation prize goes to tag number S6. तो इसकी डिटेल वो बाद में जो पर्टिकुलर टीचर इंचार्ज है उससे ले सकते हैं. सेकेंड कॉम्पिटिशन इज फॉर रंगोली कॉम्पिटिशन. इसमें जो फर्स्ट प्राइज जाता है दैट इज टैग नंबर C2, एंड सेकेंड प्राइज गोज टू C3, थर्ड प्राइज गोज टू C10, एंड कंसोलेशन प्राइज गोज टू C12 and C13. Thank you so much to all, especially to ma'am for joining us for this wonderful talk. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Shall I leave now?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.